2010 Speedway World Champion Tomasz Gollob. The 39-year-old clinched his first ever title after a dramatic refereeing decision in the second semi-final of the Italian Grand Prix in Terenzano. Championship rival Jarek Campbell was adjudged to have been passed by Chris Harris on the line. This made it mathematically impossible for the Pole to catch Gollob. For the man of the moment, it meant the realisation of a dream that has lasted over 2 decades. Tomasz has had a sublime season and been truly awe-inspiring. Just ask his peers.
Tomasz Gollob this year has been tremendous, so awesome the way he's been setting up the bikes, on the tracks. He's been unbeaten.
When I saw him in Torrent there, when he had the maximum there, it was unbelievable, and also in Voyance I think he had the same. He's just riding brilliant. Good starts, good control on the track, easy and calm, and he's riding really clever.
He was the best this year, and he improved that on the track almost every time. Whatever the track looks like, it was smaller than the big one, it doesn't matter. He was the best one.
He's really been riding as a true world champion all year, and he proved it over and over again. And seeing Tomasz riding when he's at his best, it's always fantastic.
Amazing on the motorcycle. It's just poetry in motion, and he's the inspiration.
39, 40 years old, win your first world championship, pretty amazing. Whether I can do it at that age, I don't know. I'll be surprised, but he's done it, and why is Lee Adams retiring if Tomasz can win it at 40?
Well said, Jason. The outgoing champ was more than gracious in defeat. It started back in 1995 in Wrocław, Poland. That's when a fresh-faced Tomasz Gollob first stepped onto a Grand Prix winner's step. Since then, he's pursued the ultimate goal of becoming world champion, coming close on a few occasions. After 128 GPs, who would have thought it would take so long? We caught up with the man who's been at Gollob's side to ask just what it means to be the new #1.
It was, of course, I think, first and foremost, a relief. He's proved to the world that, yes, I am worthy of becoming world champion, and yes, I am able to do it. There's always been that uncertainty or a little lack of, maybe I can't do it, maybe it's too late. He's proven to the world that, yes, at 39 and a half, he can do it. And if you put your heart and your soul and your mind to it, have a good team, anything is possible.
And what does it mean for you?
For me, personally, it was a dream come true. It was the second happiest moment of my life. The first, obviously, was my son being born. I've been with him since day one, and we've been going down the road that leads us to the World Championship, and we finally made it.
It's not easy at the best of times for one of Poland's biggest sporting heroes to live a normal day-to-day life. So how's he coping with all the attention from fans and media since becoming their first champion for 37 years?
He's coping very well. He's coping very well. The stress has been on him for 20 some odd years, and after finally realizing his dream, he's able to cope with it. It is difficult. I can understand some of the film stars, the problems they have. It's not maybe at that big of a comparison, but he enjoys it. If the fans are nice to him and there are fans that come out and congratulate him or want an autograph, he's always very keen to pose for a photograph, sign an autograph. We've gotten so many phone calls, but also so many TV shows. They have nothing to do with sport. They want to have interviews with myself, with Tomek especially, of course. And so the interest is huge. And I'm really happy for that, not only for Tomek, but also for the promotion of Speedway.
Looking in from the outside, some have said Tomasz is quite an aloof and shy character. Is that really the case?
I think he's a shy man and a closed man to people he doesn't know. Once he meets somebody, he opens up and everybody sees the person Tomasz really is. He tries as much as his language allows him to do it, to joke around. I think it was a little unfortunate that he is the only Grand Prix rider from Eastern European country, but he was raised in the old Eastern European conditions, where the language, the foreign language that was taught, which was Russian.
You've been his manager for the entirety of his Speedway career. What's been the key to that longevity?
Definitely a good understanding of Tomasz, his problems, his needs, and being able to cope with them. And after so many years, we understand each other without words. Whatever he's expecting of me, I've been able to cope with that. I think that's part of the relationship we had.
Of the 16 years the Tomashes have spent in the Grand Prix series, what have been the high and low points in the pursuit of that world crown?
All the Grand Prix that he's won, it's 20 as we count, those are the high moments. The bad moments, of course, the accidents. When he goes back with an injury, when we're coming back from a Grand Prix and he's in pain and he's suffering, Those are the bad moments. The moments we learn to live with are the moments where you don't have a good Grand Prix. You don't score as many points as you would have wanted. But that's something you have to live with. To become world champion, you have to be able to learn to lose.
For many years, Team Gollob lived in the shadow of the Ricardson, Pedersen and Crump eras. So what was going through your minds at those times?
We discussed this so many times. What do they have that's better? What are they doing that makes them world champions and doesn't make me a world champion? Now, after we won the title, we know that it's nothing magical. It's just putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's that little combination of a little of everything, but mixed together just right. And that I think that's the secret to the success of becoming a world champion.
Unfortunately, Tomasz goes into his home Grand Prix in Bydgoszcz with a badly injured right ankle after a crash whilst riding his motocross bike. But he's determined to ride through the pain.
He owes it to himself, but he especially owes it to all the fans who will come and cheer him on. To be able to be crowned world champion in front of your home fans on a track that he started racing on, I believe 23 years ago, that is just unbelievable. And we're very fortunate to live it.
It's an experience no other rider in the history of the World Championship has felt. So what does the future hold for the 2010 champion?
He still wants to ride for a few more years. Hopefully we can defend the title. From what we've heard, defending it is much harder than winning it for the first time. So we'll see how that feeling sinks in during next year's season. As far as plans after Speedway, we have to wait and see.
A sellout crowd of just under 20,000 fanatical fans packed out the Polonia Stadium stands for what promised to be a night full of celebration and emotion, and to witness their hometown man being crowned Speedway's world champion.